The second process, define activities, is the process of identifying and documenting the specific actions to be performed to produce the project deliverables. In this process, we are taking the deliverables that we identified at the lowest level in the WBS, referred to as work packages, from the Create WBS process in the Scope Management Knowledge area, and are further breaking them down into tasks or activities. These activities represent the work effort required to complete the work package. This will then provide a basis for estimating, scheduling, executing, monitoring, and controlling the project work. The key inputs include Schedule Management Plan. You'll notice that this was the output of the preceding process. A key input from the Schedule Management Plan is the prescribed level of detail necessary to manage the work. And Scope Baseline. The project WBS, deliverables, constraints, and assumptions documented in the Scope Baseline are considered explicitly while defining activities. The key tools and techniques for the Define Activities process are decomposition and rolling wave planning, and these are integral to the outputs: activity list, activity attributes, and milestone list. The first method to define activities is decomposition. Decomposition is where we break down higher-level components into lower levels, and this is done until it is acceptable to stakeholders for planning, delivery, and control. Essentially, each work package within the WBS is decomposed into the activities required to produce the work package deliverables. Let's look at a quick example here. So the work package, laying cables, has now been broken down into specific activities such as cut wall ducts, buy cables, put cables in wall ducts, and test cables. The technique we use to create the activity list here is called decomposition. Rolling wave planning is an iterative planning technique and a form of progressive elaboration, where the work to be accomplished in the near term is planned in detail and future work is planned at a higher level of the WBS. At the beginning of the project, near-term deliverables are decomposed into individual components or work packages and defined at the greatest level of detail. Deliverables and schedule activities that will take place several reporting periods in the future are more broadly defined. For example, phases 1 to 2 might be broken down fully in the WBS. Phases 3 through 6 might be outlined only to the level of sub-projects. Then, while schedule activities for phase 1 are underway, the detailed planning for phase 3 would commence. As phase 2 is put in motion, planning for phase 4 would start, and so forth. In this way, rolling wave planning permits work activities to move forward on current and near-term deliverables while planning is still ongoing for future work packages. Let's look at the key outputs of this process. Activity list. As we discussed earlier in this process, the WBS work packages are further broken down into activities or tasks. The result is an activity list, which includes all the activities that are required for the project in sufficient detail for others to understand what has to be done. The second output is activity attributes, which are the details associated with the activities. These are progressively elaborated throughout project planning. These attributes extend the description of each activity and can include activity identifier, WBS ID, activity label or name, and when completed may include but not limited to activity description, predecessor activities, and successor activities. The last key output is the milestone list, which is a significant point or event in a project. A milestone list is a list identifying all project milestones, and it indicates whether the milestone is a mandatory dependency, such as those required by contract, or optional, such as those based upon historical information. Milestones are similar to regular schedule activities with the same structure and attributes, but they have zero duration because milestones represent a moment in time. Watch for these outputs as they become the inputs for the next process.